This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, good evening.
Hey Abdul, good evening.
Yeah,
How
good
are
evening.
you?
Good.
How are you feeling now?
Feeling fine. What happened?
Actually,
So,
I talked with Rama yesterday, so he was telling me that
okay.
you are not feeling well. So,
No, I was just
so
late actually. Mm,
okay, oh yeah.
mm. So, this one, any doubt on previous session if anybody has about progress analysis?
Abdul, I was going through the theory of milestone trend analysis. So over there, it was mentioned that the for the milestone trend analysis, progress version is compulsory. So is it so or
Yes.
if
Project
progress?
version, not progress version.
Okay, project version.
Project version. No?
Okay.
Project version is compulsory. Yes, it is
So
required. Otherwise, it won't give you that report.
uh, okay. So yeah, so I just read about milestone trend analysis. So I didn't
Yeah, milestones
go
and
through
lines,
the.
what you have to do, you need to create multiple milestones. I mean,
Okay.
wherever the important point you need to be monitored, then
Okay.
start creating versions for that.
Okay.
Yeah, then it will give you the report when you do that one.
Okay, Abdul. Yeah, so I didn't went through the progress analysis. So I'll go through the progress analysis, and if I'll be having any questions, then I'll ask you on next class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So today let's look at the concept of settlement and result analysis. So that will be the period and process. So it's again from a PS consultant perspective, you will not be doing it in the implementation. This is normally taken care by the CEO, but it will be always better to understand the concept, so you'll be able to see how the during the consulting and all you can advise the business. So basically, what is a result analysis? Here again, the concept of POC comes. So don't get confused with what POC you are using it in progress analysis here. It is a different POC, but some area, yes, there are some relationships. So actually, what is the result analysis? Result analysis is a periodic process which determines the cost and revenue for a period. So here, the concept is basically used in accounting principles. So there is a concept of called a contract accounting, or you call it as a project accounting. So these things, what it will do that, for example, if you are talking about customer project, anyway, this is applicable only for customer project where revenue is there, otherwise it's not applicable. So the customer project, what normally happens, the customer won't pay every month the amount, right? They will be paying to you during certain milestones or certain based on some certain contract terms. But as a reporting from accounting, it will be done on every month. So how do you recognize the revenue, whether how much is you are eligible to receive the amount, or whether you are doing it better or not? That perspective, this functionality is used just to calculate and measure what is the revenues you supposed to get during that period of time. That is the purpose of result analysis. So how it is done? It is done based on calculations on planned values, planned cost and or planned revenue, and it will calculate. It will use a percentage of completion of up to that point of time. So here, percentage of completion calculation is a different method. Again, there is an option. You can use the POC from progress analysis to here, but it's not required also. There is other options are available. These are the main purpose of this result analysis. What is the result? What is the project result for the period? That is the main thing, what I said. Then what current cost do I need to capitalize as WIP? Do I need reserve for cost not yet incurred? So what does it mean? That some cases you planned your cost to be this much, but it is incurred more than that. Then what is the additional cost you have consumed? What you will do? Whether you will put it in WIP or whether you need to do it for some imminent loss. This kind of calculation which system will do. Again, here it is an engine is available. You don't need to do much about here. Again, the consultant perspective, not simple as earned value analysis. It's a bit more complicated than that, but a CEO team need to configure that. So once the configuration is done, the calculation system will take care automatically because that engine will do all the calculations. So this is how the result analysis works based on it. Again, consider what is planned value. So there are planned cost and planned revenue is there. Then there is actual values, actual cost and actual revenue. Then based on this, system will calculate the percentage of completion, that is the RC. Then it will do a calculated value. Then it will determine whether it is a calculated cost, calculated revenue, WIP or reserve. So this again the same concept. In earned value, the percentage of completion is calculated based on measurement method. But in result analysis, percentage of completion is calculated based on valuation method. Okay, so there is a difference. One is valuation method, other one is measurement method. So these are the sum of the accounting, how it is happens. Okay, so there are CZ, CA, CC, some terms are there, so which we can see what is the explanation for that. What you are saying it CZ, which is considered as work in progress. Then RZ, inventory from which revenue can be generated, that is the RZ. And we have CR, reserve for unrealized cost, that is this, and revenue surplus, that is this. So how it is calculated is CZ is calculated actual cost minus calculated cost. CC means calculated cost. CA means actual cost. Similarly, RZ or inventory from which revenue can be generated is calculated. Revenue calculated minus revenue actual. Revenue calculated minus revenue actual. Then similarly, the reserve for unrealized cost CR is calculated from calculated cost minus actual cost. Similarly, revenue surplus is calculated revenue actual minus revenue cost. So this is the terms. Okay, anyway, you are not going to do it manually, any calculation, just for the information. Like we have seen the standard measurement method which SAP has delivered for progress analysis. Here in result analysis, there are standard method available from the SAP. Here again, it's not like a measurement method you can keeps on changing it. There is a legal binding is here because it is going to be it's in accounting. So there is a legal requirement from the country perspective or accounting perspective will be there. So here there are these are the standard which is normally uses, and the most relevant if the company is doing on IFRS based accounting, then they prefer this cost proportional POC method. That is the one which is most of the countries and most of the companies follow, cost proportional POC method. These are some of the important one which is highlighted here. Okay, POC method on progress analysis. So even you can use progress analysis to calculate POC, and revenue also you can create it, and cost also you can create it. So but cost, as I said, this is the one which is relevant for IFRS. And this method is many European countries are not approved this one, so they cannot use this method for doing the accounting, because that this is a monthly your balance sheet, and profit and loss account generation, this is impacting that one. So you cannot simply do whatever the method you want it, because there is a lot of auditing is there, then they have to agree it. Similarly, there is accounting, legal requirements are there. So all those things are there. So you cannot simply use this like our project progress analysis. This has to be some legal requirement is there. It has to follow the standard. Then this is an example of revenue proportional. So how the calculation is happening. Okay. For example, here the POC is calculated based on revenue. That is the revenue proportional means. So what is the calculation will be? POC percentage of completion is calculated. Actual revenue divided by planned revenue, RA divided by RP. So that is the calculation for POC. So let us take an example. For example, in your project, you have a planned revenue of 3,000 and a planned cost of 2,000. So in a period, let's say after 1 month, you received an amount of 1,200 from the customer. So you received a billing. So 1,200 you have invoiced the customer, then they paid. Or paid or not is not relevant for this calculation. At least if once you invoice it, that will be considered as an actual. So that actual is you have raised an invoice for 1,200. Similarly, during that period, you incurred a cost of 1,000. So 1,000 actual cost has incurred to your project. So this is the relevant. Now, how system will calculate the POC? For example, our method is revenue. So RA divided RP. So RA is how much? 1,200. RP is 3,000. So if I divide 1,200 by 3,000, I will get 0.4, which is nothing but 40%. So POC is calculated as a 40%. Now what I will do, I need to calculate the cost of sales. Then I need to calculate what is the WIP. So here cost of sales is calculated POC into plan cost. So plan cost is how much? 2,000. 2,000 into POC, so 800. So what does it mean? Whenever you are receiving a revenue of 1,200, your cost supposed to be 800 as per this plan, because you are putting up because that profit or profit margin what you are maintained in the plan. So during the actual also system will try to maintain the same thing. So once you are receiving 1,200 only as a revenue, then your cost supposed to be 800. Whereas in your real case, you have received, you have incurred already or consumed as a 1,000 as your cost. So what does it mean? The 200, whatever is dollar or rupees, whatever you're saying, the 200 what you're having in your project, which is supposed to be in work in progress. That is not your real actual cost. That's the concept from the accounting perspective. Okay, so that's what system will do. System will do a profitability analysis. There will be a the posting will happen, and in financial accounting there will be posting will happen, in stock account, inventory change. All those will happen automatically once you post these things. So for us, okay, this one is system will take care, but what I need to understand that this is what the system is calculating. Okay, so the calculation is always based on your planned value. So that is the reason I was just telling during the planning of cost planning, financial planning, when you're doing cost planning and as well as revenue planning, that is very much important, because that value you have to keep it properly. That is what system is going to calculate it for the financial period entries. Okay, so now let us take the same example. If it is a cost proportional, how does it will be? How it is? The system will calculate it. For example, in this same example, if I am using cost as the reference or for the percentage of completion, so percentage of completion you need to be calculated based on actual cost divided by planned cost. So CA divided by CP. So same concept, 3,000 and 2,000. So if I take this and same 1,200, 1,000. Here, if I take the POC calculation, actual is 1,000 and my plan is 2,000. So POC will be 50%. So you can see the difference. Here, revenue is the relevant, so we are calculating the cost, but here cost is the reference, so we are calculating the revenue. Okay, so we will calculate the revenue. So revenue is supposed to be percentage of completion into planned revenue. So 50 percentage, 0.5 into 3000, so the value will be 1500. But how much we received? We received only 1200. So there is a 300 we supposed to receive from them, or we are eligible to bill, we are eligible to claim from the customer. So that is what we need to show it in accounting. Okay, this much is your revenue, you are recognizing this much, 300 you can recognize extra. So how can you recognize that one? For that, there is a concept called inventory from which revenue can be generated. So there is a entry will be passed, which is also again a WIP. Not earlier we call it as a revenue WIP for cost. So here it is a WIP for revenue. So that will be calculated and that posting will be happening. So this is how the different valuation method will have a different calculation. So it's the same amount, but the value is keeps on changing it. Okay, so that's what normally the result analysis will do. Okay, so here another thing important is that the life cycle of the project. Basically, the result analysis calculation, will be done. For example, once it is released, it will start calculating it, cost and revenue, the posting, all things will happen. But once you do a final invoice, so then what happened? It will be considered cost of sale is equal to. So there is a calculation changes. Earlier, cost of sales is equal to 0, reserve for admin loss. So this will be the during the. But when you do cost and revenue post, so cost of sales will be greater than 0. So change in balances. So all those posting, whatever we have seen, it is happening. But once final invoice status is set or technically complete, so what happened? Cost of sale is equal to actual sales. So this calculation will be stopped. So once you set TECO, then once you run the result analysis, the cost of sales will be considered as how much is your actual cost incurred. It will not go for the planned cost, and calculated cost will not be taken care. So that is the status is controlling. So based on status, because you have a different system status, so that is important. Very, very important when you are talking about a customer project. You need to make the status to fully invoiced. So there will be certain posting happens in the result analysis. Similarly, once you have technically complete, then you need to set the system of the project. Sorry, the system status of the project technically complete, all your WBS element. So system, the calculation, the changes in the result analysis. So the decision criteria, which method to be used and all these things, or depends on the legal requirement as well as the the geographical location and what the company nature, different kind of what is the type of business. So it's all depends on that one. So we cannot say this is to be used, this is to be used like that. That is again a legal requirement will be playing a major role in that. Then these are some customizations and all those things. Normally again it will be done by FICO guy. So what we need to do is the result analysis key we need to mention during a settlement strategy that I will take it up. I will show you that what to be done. So that is a PS configuration. The rest all will be done by the CEO. But I will just show you what is the area where these are things are configured. Okay, these are the things the customizing you need to do.
Ramesh, at the time of requirement gathering, so the PS consultant is the major POC for doing this requirement gathering for result analysis, or the CO
This will be
consultants
from
come
finance, not from PS guys. The project guys, you normally you deal with the project people, right? Those guys will not have any idea what to be done. This will be always from finance.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the pure accounting. It is nothing to do with project. It's a project. How the accounting of project to be done. So it is a part of project people. Sorry, accounts department, or you can say finance department.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Even from the business also, the project team, for example, project manager, project planner, those guys are not involved in this decision making or the things what I need and all those things. This is always discussed from finance.
Okay, Abdul. Yeah, thank you.
So these are some of the steps: RI cost elements, grouping, RI version, then RI key, RI method, update. So there are things is done. So that's what all about this result analysis. So if you have any doubt on this, calculations or anything, how it is happening, you can just ask. Otherwise, I will just show you in the system where we are maintaining the, just for information. I mean, because you need to just know what is happening in PS and how the accounting is done. Okay, so let's first I will show you where is the what is PS related configuration. Okay, so let's go through that settlement also, then we understand where is the configuration comes, because it's a part of same thing, right? Because here also another one more finance related process happens in PS. Here only, not only PS, they do monthly period and closing for all the cost objects, because PS also one of the cost object where you are incurring the cost and storing it, and which you need to be settled at every month, because it has to be they have to do the accounting properly. So there are different settlement, from the settlement they have individual processing, collective processing, then source structure, settlement cost element, line item settlement, by cost. So there are different way of doing these things from the settlement perspective. So what is happening, the settlement debit and credit, what is happening is here, so for example, you in the project you are receiving material withdrawal goods received, those costs you will receive. So material withdrawal means if your stock item, you are removing it from your stock and consuming it for a project. Goods receipt means if it's a non-stock item, you are directly receiving GRN. So that cost also will be loaded to the project. Then invoices, direct postings. Okay. Then activity allocation, transfer, distribution, like, your confirmations, then any kind of postings, or cost booking, all those things will come. Then this confirmation. So all those things will come as a debit to the project. Okay, so that is why we will be seeing always positive value. So that is how SAP represents, right? How the debit credit is represented in SAP is debit will be showing as a positive value and credit will be showing as a negative value. So that's why whenever you are taking a cost element report, you need to see whether because sometimes the total cost suddenly it will show as a zero, because you will not be seeing the difference. That is because of the debit and credit entry. Okay, so if it is credit entries happens, then the value will be reversed, or for example settlement. So whenever you do the line item report and all those things, you need to exclude that settlement entry. So what is happening here? So whatever the amount is debited to the PS, that you need to settle to, or you need to credit to the other objects. That is, so it can be different. It can be to finance or asset, or it can be some other controlling cost center or something like that, or maybe it can be to a order, sales order. If it is a make to order scenario, if you are creating a project based on a sales order, then it will go to the cost of sales. Or if it is to a bigger project, if you want to settle, then it will go to the project, and like that. So there is a different receiver will be there. The receiver, normally the settlement rule will define who is the receiver, like that. So this is the settlement rule normally. So you will say how much is the, what is the type and who is the receiver, and then how much is the settlement, whether it is periodic or full, like that you can maintain it. Then normally settlement rule will be defined. So whether you can, there is two kind of settlement is there. For example, customer projects where the result analysis run, normally what will be the settlement rule will be, do not settle for all the child objects, including the network and activity. And only the parent where the billing element is there, that will be settled to the profitability segment. That is how the settlement happens for the customer project. But cost projects like, your overhead kind of things or maintenance project and all. So whatever the cost comes to that WBSN, that will go to that relevant cost center. So it will be each WBS will have the settlement rule will be there. Then there are another method of doing is basically for asset, or I can say asset under construction capital project. So if you are creating only one AUC for the entire project from the root level WBS element, then you can settle from the lower level to the higher level. Then from the root level, it will settle to the AUC. So that is also option is there. Now here, the important thing is a settlement strategy. So that's what I said. The settlement strategy we need to configure. So based on the settlement strategy, system will derive what are the settlement rule need to be created. So I will show you that one in the system. So settlement, direct settlement or multi-level settlements are there. So this is all done again from the CEO perspective. What they will do, they will create a settlement profile, and this settlement profile has some details like settlement structure, origin, PA settlement. So PA means again profit this revenue related. So how that also will be there. So how the revenue need to be settled, then how the origin of cost structure. So again, this is completely related to CEO. But what PS need to be done? So they will give you a settlement profile, then which you need to assign to this network type or project profile. Then only the settlement will work. So these are the different structure, how the cost will come, then who is the receiver, how do you want to settle it. Then similarly, we have two way of settling it. You can see the difference. One is you will receive the cost from different cost element. You do all together, then you settle to one cost element. So it is called settlement by cost element, this concept. And here what happened, whatever the cost element is coming, that is straightforward, it will go to the cost element. So this way is different settlement is there, is happening. So I just will show you what is this relevant in the system perspective. So for example, if I take this so here normally a status SCTC settlement rule created, status will come whenever you create the rules. Okay, that system status will come. So for the settlement status can be created based on there is a transaction for finance to use it, which is CJB1 or CJB2. There is two transactions, one for collective and one for individual processing. So that when you execute, this will get created. Okay, again, where to see the settlements rules. So for example, if I right click and see, go to settlement rule. So here it will get created. So here the category will be there. So here different categories are there. Where this is called as a receiver. So where the cost is going to be received. For example, cost center, fixed asset, or GL account, material, or network. So there are different things: profitability segment, sales document item, or WBC. These are the different receiver. So this receiver is decided based on the settlement rule. Then you can see that number will come. For example, if it is a WBS element you are going to settle, then it will give you the WBS element number. Then you can specify what is the percentage. or you can put an amount, or you can say 100%. Then the method is there from to period. All those things will happen. Whether it is a full settlement or periodic settlement, here there is a difference. Full settlement means, for example, if I am running a settlement in June and I started incurring the cost from January onwards, and if I am using full settlement means everything from January onwards, whatever is left balance, everything will be considered whenever I am doing the settlement. That is full settlement. But when I am talking about a periodic settlement means if I am running a period for June, so whatever the cost is posted in June only will be considered. So here, what is the difference means normally use the periodic settlement only. So in case what the issue will come if somebody goes and say do a posting in the backdater or something like that, then this will have issues. So normally during a project final settlement, so system normally give you by default periodic settlement only. So if FUL full has to be gone and changed to the manually, you need to change it. So that is normally done by the final settlement of the project. So will the finance will go and change this to full, then execute it. So if any cost is there in earlier which was pending for settlement, that everything will be taken care of during that final settlement. So that is what normally they do it. Okay. So this is the settlement rule what we are talking about. And for the settlement rule, here in the project profile, we assign a settlement rule. You can see here simulation profile, interest profile. So it is not here. So it means automatically it is derived. Even if it is go to the assignment, control. Okay. So here, let's see what is the configuration for this. Then I will execute once. Let's see whether it is running or not. For example, if I go to project systems, here there is an option you can put a settlement profile, and there is also settlement rule strategy also there. So this is important. So this strategy is PS related configuration. That is important. I will show you that. So this will come under cost, automatic and periodic allocation, settlement rule for breakdown strategy, then define strategy for settlement rule. This is the one. So this strategy you need to assign to the project profile. So in this strategy, for example, strategy 10 customer project. So here you can give a name, one strategy number, it's a 2-digit. Then what is the settings available? That's what we need to check. So here what is the settings is saying that, for example, if it is a billing element, then what is the settlement profile? Then what is the result analysis key? If it is a account assignment element, what is the settlement rule and what is the RI key? And here, what is the account assignment category? So here it is profitability or requesting goes under or responsible or copy rule from superior object or no receiver. So this is the way you need to do it. So that is what we said. If the cost is there, account assignment element, it will be the settlement profile is 1002. It means do not settle, and account assignment category is no receiver. It will not go to receive anything. Okay. But if it is a billing element, then it has to go to profitability segment. This is the settings. Normally you do it for customer projects. Okay. Then here there is a check n is to 1 SDPS. It means if you want to assign multiple sales order, multiple sales order to one WBS element, then this tick has to be active. Otherwise, it will not allow. Then again, which result analysis? So this key and this key finance will give you. Then this configuration you need to make it. Then that strategy you need to assign to the project profile. For example, this is the one which we are using it. So then there is a transaction to generate the settlement rule based on the strategy. Go to financials, period and closing, single functions, settlement rule. Here there is individual processing or collective processing. So if I do this one, CJB2 for this project with the hierarchy, I want to all test run detail list period, let's say 06 or 07, right? 07, fiscal year 2020. Okay, now let's execute. Other errors. So what is the error? So here the configuration from CO side is missing. That is why it is giving. Supposed to be generate a profitability segment, right? Here as per this strategy, supposed to generate a profitability segment, but the system is not allowing to generate it. So it is that is COPA configuration is not there. COPA configuration is not there. That is the reason this error is coming. So once this error is there, this error will not say. So what happens here, for example, if instead of test run, if I execute it, so this will process. So let's see what happens in the project. So here basically, if that rule is there, then here that profitability segment comes here. Your PSC will come. This will come profitability segment. Then it will get some number, but process after. So there is some issue with this system. So you can check it this way. So once you execute this, this will come. The profitability segment will come. Then here there will be a system status will be active. SCTC. SCTC will come saying that settlement rule is created. That is what happens when you execute that one. Then after that, once the settlement rule is created, then there is a steps normally need to be followed. So for example, in your case, a customer project is there, then first thing what you need to do, settlement rule need to be generated. So which is CJB2 or CJB1, that is for your collective process. Then you need to run a result analysis, which is KKA2 and KKA1. I will show you how does the list look like. Then after that, we will go for settlement. Sorry. So there is CJ88/CJ8G, I think, for that collective. So this transaction, so this is the order. First you have to create the settlement rule, then you should go for a result analysis. So the settlement rule not required to be executed every time, because that will happen, automatically. The next month also you are not going to change it. But as a practice, this need to be considered. So if the settlement rule is not created for a project, then there is no point of running this tool. Okay, so first you have to create the settlement rule, then go for settlement result analysis, then go for the settlement. That is how the end user level or finance level they need to do it. So here there is a transaction called result analysis here. This is the one, KK to KKAJ, not KKA1, sorry. KKAJ. So here, this is the transaction where you need to give the WBS element, which is nothing but period is 07, 2020, then RA version will be 0, full log. Okay, there is no value. Let's try the other one. $5. So what happens here, I have not entered the KK CJB2, right? Because if I did not maintain the result analysis key, then it will not allow to run it. So let us try whether we can manually enter it and try out. So if I go to here, control. Now let me try whether it will allow or not. Okay, so it is not yet released. So let us try our other project, the one which we were using it at 10, I think. Yeah, so let us release this and try. Status information. 120, 130, 50. So here, these items, what is missing? Purchasing group is missing. No, but it's already there. Purchasing group, purchasing organization. Okay. It is there. 120, 130, okay. 120, 130. Now let's try, hopefully it will release. Okay, that item there is no purchasing view, this item. So let's delete that. Edit status release. Yeah, status set. Now let us go here and assign that result analysis key. $10. Yeah, okay, so that is done. Now let us go to our yeah. But again, there is some errors are there. Otherwise, what happened? You can see here, it will give you the calculated values. What is the cost of sales? What is the revenue affecting income, even and loss? So whatever I have shown you in the uh, presentation. So it will be two cumulative for up to this period and for this particular period. This way, an inventory also. What is the revenue, excess billing, work in progress, capitalized profit. Similarly, reserve. So whatever you have seen, everything will come here and it will show it here. And here it will show you what is the planned cost, what is the actual revenue, actual cost. Just information will come here as a report. Then once it is done, you need to just save it. So once this saved, after saving, there is a transaction for settlement. So here, individual processing. So here you will go, then put that project and settlement period, then just execute it. So this is what normally done by finance. So the important transaction, as I said, this is the one important one as a configuration from PS perspective. Then whatever the profile they are giving, this is important. So if it is already there, then this way, the strategy will automatically take care. So you need to enter it. Then the other one, the result analysis configurations are under here. This is the result analysis configuration, edit result analysis, cost element, the project definition, the analysis version, then with this evaluation method. This is the important one, evaluation method. So here we'll have different evaluation method. If I go to the evaluation method, you can see during release, during final billing, during TECO. So cancel inventory with status, cancel inventory with status. So each status there is a behavior for that one, and there is some will be with for example, if I go to here, this is an expert mode. For example, if I want to see each valuation method, then there will be a lot of details are there. So basically SAP recommends this area you can change it, but this can plan value, this areas extended control and all those things, and this cancellation method. So SAP will recommend not change it, keep standard as it is. So that is the reason this expert mode will need to be very careful even if you are just for knowledge purpose, if you are going inside. So don't change all these things. So that will create a lot of complication in the calculations. So these are the valuation method, and here let's say this valuation method for some here. So here the valuation methods, they select. These are the different valuation methods which I said. Revenue based result analysis, or earned value. So different method, they can select it. Then based on that one, this will calculate percentage of completion. So anyway, you don't need to be confused with this, just for a information purpose. So this is how the settlement is happening in PS. So these are the accounting perspective, they are doing it. So basically this result analysis not specific, not only specific for PS, the same functionality is extensively used for PP as well. So the accounting, normally those people are familiar with this accounts, controlling CEO guys are familiar with this term. So it's not a PS specific, but the same functionality, the result analysis. So it means you are using a revenue recognition, how much revenue you can recognize in a month, that is automatically happening. So normally they call it as a POC method. So what I just want to explain you that don't confuse with this POC with the POC which we discussed in the previous class. That is something called a earned value POC. This is something POC related to your result analysis. Yeah, someone was asking about.
Yeah. Abdul, this result analysis key, it's applicable for investment project as well as?
No, only for revenue.
Customer
only
projects.
For revenue, only customer projects.
Okay.
Revenue this one not required for any kind of result analysis. There automatically you put there also you can put a strategy if is required. The one which we said now that strategy here you can see that if it is account assignment, then you can settings. If there is any inheritance cost project, it's not there. Anyway, what happens if account assignment element is there and you are assigning the investment that key, then automatically it will generate the AUC, or you can specify here in the settlement status. So when you execute it, it will go and assign to that specific WBS packet. So that is there. Then specifically this cost project, direct settlement to whether you want a requesting cost center or responsible cost center, those kind of things also you can generate it from here easily.
Yeah, because basically based on investment profile, the AUC will get create and fixed asset for investment project. So that's what I'm.
Yes, fixed asset anyway, that is manually they will enter finally, right? They will create the fixed asset and go and change it. Then they will just execute it.
So then there is no need of assigning result analysis key mandatory in project profile for.
It is only for the customer projects.
Okay.
So that's what in the beginning I was telling. The customer projects is a bit complicated comparing to investment, because investment is something like it's your internal project. So there is the things are less. But when you are talking about customer, means an external project. So here really you are doing a kind of business where this is profitable or loss, that you need to understand that whether that project business is not that easy, right? Not like some item you buy and you sell and you take a profit, that is straightforward. But when it comes to a project, there is a lot of complexity comes inside to it. So unless and until end of the project, you will come to, you don't know whether you are doing you are making a profit or loss. So that is the things where you will miss the things. That is how if you don't have a visibility in the project, then it will be in disaster once you meet to when you are reaching to the end of the project. So that is the reason this earned value analysis, result analysis, all those things, the tools are there. It has to be used. Then in every month, you are aware what is the progress, what is the project, where it is going, what is the health of the project, whether it is making money or I am going into loss, or all those things will be aware. So you can take an immediate action there. You can take corrective measure. You don't need to wait. Either you can withdraw the project. Cannot execute. Whatever the decision that is possible to take it. So I know that it is be a bit complicated. So it's okay just to understand the concept only. You don't need. You are not going to do this result analysis, key settlement, and all those things. But obviously, you have to do the progress analysis. That is a PS part. You need to make practice that. You need to use it, because if you show that, then that is the real benefit of the PS. That is how people will be able to get benefited for using the SAP, especially for the PS. So I think whatever what our target area need to be completed, covered as a part of a training, which is done. So what I will do in the next session, we will take up all your doubts only, clear any doubt you have in any area. Then I will close from my side. Then Rama will take you 1 or 2 sessions just to explain about the integration with your PPM, CPM, and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Again, it is an overview. It is not going to be in detail. Yeah. Yes. Tell me.
Yeah, Abdul, actually, I need some 3 kind of subject here. So basically, which is I told you earlier about bill of materials assigning into WBS network. It would be great if you teach that. And carry forward budget and carry forward commitment. Can you show some example how it works really?
Okay, so we'll try, because I'm not sure whether my IDES is that capable for these things. I will show you what are the transactions. Maybe if error is not coming, then we will be able to post it.
Okay, I got it.
These are simple transactions only, but I will show you, because the problem with the IDES means people are playing left and right. So
correct.
So many things, the behavior may not be as expected. That is only issue.
Give some
perfect IDES. If you have your own IDES, then people are not playing around. It will work perfectly, no issue. But the problem what happens, IDES means the playground. Everybody will log in, then they start creating, deleting, configuring. Then finally, it will screw up.
Yeah. Just let me know carry forward conditions, commitment condition, what will happen at least through PPT or something else.
There is 2 things are there. If you're talking about BCS, then that is something else. If you're talking only from PS, that is something else.
Okay.
Because if BCS means that is a different way concept is there, budget control system, which is normally is taken care by complete process. It's a separate one. In PS, a small version is available from PS side. So the budget control system, a small version they have given. But if you really look into that one, from the function wise, in PS, the original budgets are not locked. You have noticed that, right? CJ32, anytime you can go and make changes.
Correct.
But in BCS, it's not like that. Original is posted, that is posted. You cannot go and change it. So that is the reason this carry forward and all those things are relevant. But in PS, it's a kind of, logically, if you think, if you are not able to change the original budget, and what is the point of carry forward, right? So what is the concept of carry forward is, for example, see what happens here is, for example, you have a 2019 and 2020, 2020, 21. So this is a 3-year project. So here, during 2019, you got the $100 as a budget approved. Okay. Now in BCS, always the budget will be annual budget. Okay, they will not do it even though your is for 3 years. They are not going to give you for 3 years. They will give you for 2019. Now there is a condition is there. For example, if you create a PR, okay, so this is your requirement for the project. So if your PR is this, so you raised a PR only for 90. So it means your commitment is 90. So once your commitment is 90, automatically what the system they will do, they will just carry forward 90 here. So your 10 is lost. So if you want to carry forward this 100 to the next year, what you need to do, you need to raise your PR. So here, not only necessarily to PR, you can have fund reserve also. You can reserve the fund for something. So I will say I have PR for 90 and I will reserve fund for 10. So both will be carry forwarded. So I'll have some. So what I will do, in 2010, I want to utilize it. So I will delete this one, then I will create another PR for 10. So in 2020, if your project is not finishing, so whatever is the commitment, the both will be carry forward. This is what the concept of carry forward in BCS. But if you look at my PS budget, you can go to CJ30 anytime and you can make it in 2020 or 2019, 2020, whatever you want. So there is no strict rule here. So even though they have given some transaction, so it is not really useful if you look at from this perspective. But only thing is, as a procedure, if you want to say somebody not allowed to change it, and if you have a strict audit log, somebody will go who is going and changing CJ30 again, and all those things are there, then you can use it. Otherwise, you cannot control it. Because the original budget is not locked here. It is always open. You can go and make changes whenever you want.
Yeah. Gopi, for that commitment and actual values, there's you can get in touch with a finance consultant. So there's a transaction code. I'm not sure about the transaction code. So what you can do is you can just put in the WBS element and you just enter the fiscal year from which year to which year you want to transfer the actual or commitment cost. So you just enter the values in the
No
selection
problem.
screen and
We
execute.
will take an example next. All the doubts will clear it out in the next session. So we'll take
Yeah,
an
Abdul.
example. You will take you the budget. This one carry forward. I will show you. But you understood that the concept in PS, which is
I
not very
understood that.
strict. Yeah, very strict. So it's all manual control again. What you are expecting the result, you will not get it from here. But it's still manually. If you are able to control the user, you say the guy who has CJ30 access, you will tell him that don't go and make any changes first time only. If you have that kind of control, it will work.
Okay.
Okay, so no problem. I will show you that. Then, but what I'm saying, if your organization is really big corporate, then you suggest them go for BCS, FM BCS. Okay, so it is a part of ISPS, Industry Sector Public Sector PCM, PSM, I think, Public Sector Management, and there is a FM in module is the Funds Management. Under that, there is a BCS, is the Budget Control System. That is the real control actually. Your entire budget will be controlled.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what the real control. But yes, you can use it, but it is just a mocking. It's not that real control. Something like that's what I'm just be very open. Like whatever is a strong, I will tell you there is a very strong machine engine. For example, result analysis, your this one, your scheduling, and all those things are very strong from his perspective. But unfortunately, budget is not that strong. So what we can do the next session, we will take it up. I will show you the transaction. And second thing, the bill of material transfer also will show you what is the concept. Okay. So similarly, if any one of you have any other doubts, whatever the area which we have covered, what is scheduling, this, that, and all those things, let us discuss and clear it out. So if you are not able to close it next class, then we can have it one more session, no issue. But you come up with your doubts. Let it be an interactive way. So let's see all your area which you have not clear, something like that, then we can clarify it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Thanks,
Then good
Abdul.
night. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye, Abdul. Happy weekend. Bye.